Gary Mason of Wandsworth, the powerful young heavyweight, very much in the Frank Bruno mould. Well, Mason, a little too powerful for Notice. In a sparring session, he broke one of Notice's ribs and immediately was given the opportunity to replace him in tonight's Mike Barrett promotion at Wolverhampton, sponsored by Express and Star newspapers. Mason's opponent, the American Oscar Holman. And for Harry Carpenter at ringside, it's another chance to measure the progress of one of Britain's most promising heavyweights.
Gary Mason is a stablemate of Frank Bruno, a sort of Bruno Mark II, I suppose you could call him. A great professional record, 14 wins in 14 fights, and there's never been any doubt about Mason's punching power. Good right hand, he's got him. Short right hand. And Mason's got him with a right. First round, he's never going to get up from that. Oh, what a right uppercut. Lifted him off his feet like Foreman did with Frazier. Mason's opponent tonight, Oscar Holman from Philadelphia, is accustomed to going in with quite fair class in the States, and he's not a man who goes over easily. In his last fight, he fought Henry Tillman, the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic gold medalist, and he went 6 rounds before he was stopped by Henry Tillman. So there's something for Gary Mason to work on, to try and beat Tillman's time against this man. Oscar Holman, former light heavyweight, certainly looks like a blown-up heavyweight. He's come into the ring tonight at 15 stone 4, and that is over a stone heavier than when he fought Tillman in September. So he's taken this fight, as you know, at short notice, so has Mason. And Mason, in the white trunks, going to work very early on. Mason weighs a whopping 17 stone 2. So he's almost 2 stone heavier than the American. Six of Gary's fights have ended in the first round, including his last one. And he's punching as though he's going to get this one over a bit fast too, although I think Holman is the sort of man who will take a punch well. Full house here tonight in the Civic Hall at Wolverhampton, much to the joy of the sponsors, the West Midlands Express and Star, and the promoters, Ron Gray and Mike Barrett. Ron Gray, incidentally, celebrating his 50th promotion in this arena tonight. These are good punches to the head that Mason's letting rip here. So far, Holman's taken them well.
Jump it out now, Joe. Jump it out. Jump it out.
Mason will be 24 years old next month. And he's certainly beginning to make his mark in the professional world in this country. Following very much in the footsteps of Frank Bruno. Well, it's all Mason in the opening round, and it's just as well that Holman does take a punch well. Otherwise, it could all be over. So an overwhelming first round for Gary Mason. Well, I keep referring to him as Bruno Mark II, and I've got Bruno Mark I right next to me. Frank Bruno is here. You must have taken a few fights at short notice. It can't be easy.
It can't be easy, Harry, but if you're in a pro game and anything could happen, and he's at a learning stage where Terry's guiding him up to bigger things, and he's ready all the time. He's in the gym every day, Harry.
Right. Hey, well, your mate's over on the other side there, the opposite side,
yeah.
Horace Notice, who should have been fighting tonight.
Yeah.
And British and Commonwealth champion, there he is behind the promoter, Ron Gray.
Yeah.
Got a busted rib. Gary Mason here gave him a busted rib.
No, he didn't give him a busted. That was all wrong in the papers.
Tell me what happened.
Nothing happened. He just damaged his rib a little bit, Harry.
I see. Can't believe everything you read in the papers.
Right.
Eh? There he is.
It's Horace.
Second note, round 2.
Mason's last fight was at Wembley on November the 4th against Donnie Long. And it didn't go long. It lasted 1 minute and 31 seconds. And that was only 3 seconds more than it took Mike Tyson to beat Donnie Long. So that was a really fine performance by Mason.
The hook back, the hook.
This is scheduled for 8 rounds. Nobody's ever taken Mason beyond 5. Holman has lost his last 4 fights. He's been sparring with Tyson. He was one of Tyson's sparring partners for the Trevor Berbick fight.
Get back into it, Gary.
Yes, the voice you hear is that of Frank Bruno.
Sorry, Harry. The hook, the hook. The hook back, Gary, the hook.
Holman not doing too much attacking, mainly concerned at the moment with keeping out of trouble. Obviously a cagey sort of fighter. Gets his gloves up fast to cover his head. Solid right hand that Mason dug into the very fleshy body of Holman.
That's it, Gary. That point. Hook, that's lucky, the hook back.
It was a big right hand that upset Holman when he fought Henry Tillman. A big right in the 6th. Well, he's certainly a very much more durable opponent than some that Gary's been given.
Chap it out sharp, beat him to it, Gary.
Noticeable that Holman's already beginning to breathe quite hard. He's feeling it already. He's taken a lot of good shots. So 2 rounds completed. We go back to the corner with Oscar Holman from Philadelphia. His first few fights he actually fought in Miami. Then he moved up north, and since then he's been very much fighting around Philadelphia, Atlantic City, those sort of places, going in with quite good class. But in 1985, in some of his fights, he was weighing just over 13 stone, and now here he is at 15 stone 4, and that's rather more than a stone heavier than he was in his last fight in September. Oscar Holman, who, having taken the fight at short notice and made the long trip across from the States, probably a bit jet-lagged, so not easy for him, particularly with a big puncher like Mason to contend with. Terry Lawless, of course, in the corner with Mason.
Second note, round 3.
Well, that's the way to come out of your corner and catch the man napping.
Downstairs now, Gary, downstairs.
Big, powerful man, Mason. He's 6 feet 2, 17 stone 2.
Mind your head, Gary.
John Coyle, the referee, just telling him to watch their heads. Mixing up his punches well, Mason. Head and body. A little bit open, but moving nicely for a big man.
Downstairs, Gary, downstairs. Downstairs.
And Holman has already proved himself a strong customer. And if he stays around a bit, he could prove troublesome later on.
Jab it out, Gal. That's it, that's it. Nice and easy, jab it out. Red alert now, red alert. Weaken him down there, Gal. Downstairs. Downstairs, Gary.
Gary Mason boxes out of Wandsworth, which was the same district, of course, where Frank Bruno was brought up. So the resemblances are really quite remarkable.
That's it.
But Mason was born in Jamaica, came to this country when he was 4 years old. Runs a jeweller's shop now in Wandsworth.
That's it, Gal. Just jab, that's it all the time. Relax, don't try for the big ones. Jab it out. That's it, Gary. Just relax. Bide your time.
Keep on him, Gal.
Good punches and the gum shield flies out of Holman's mouth as he's backed up against the ropes. Frank Bruno's getting to his feet here, all excited by me.
Take your time.
Might get a tap on the shoulder from somebody behind, if they're brave enough.
Well, Frank getting excited and Holman not unduly troubling Mason, but he has taken him into new territories. Mason has never gone beyond the 5th round before, and we rejoin the fight in the 7th.
Gary, sharpen up. Sharpen up.
Back to jab. Keep the jab going.
Well, as Frank was saying, it's just a question of Mason plugging away and hoping that one will get through in the end and do some damage. That's right, Frank, didn't it?
Right, Harry, I don't think this fight could do Gary no harm because he's had only a couple of days' notice in his first top of the bill fight, and I think he's doing pretty well, Harry.
Does it surprise you how well Holman has taken the punches?
Yeah, it does, to be quite honest, yeah.
Yeah, well, they do breed them, particularly Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got a reputation.
That's where the spoon was from, Harry.
The spoon? Yeah, of course it was, Witherspoon. Right. Yeah, that's right. They do breed them tough in Philly. They've always had a reputation for that. So, I mean, he's a mile in front, Gary. So what does he do now? Just try and keep his boxing together and...
Keep his jab in his face all the time, Harry. Right. It's easy to say from over here.
Red alert all the way, eh?
That's right.
So the last round coming up. A little milestone in Gary Mason's career, about to go into the final round. Last 3 minutes. Gary Mason in the white trunks from Wandsworth in South London, and Oscar Holman from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Not too much brotherly love being shown by Holman tonight, or by Mason. Well, the one thing Mason must not do now is to get careless. Take no risks. Mile in front.
Break his cover, Cal. Right up a good Garrett.
Punch.
Good attack by Mason in the closing moments.
Jab it out.
Can he still find perhaps just the one punch that might bring it all to an end before the final bell? Getting a little bit tired now, Garrett. Dropped his arms then, took a deep breath. Must be tired of hitting the man.
The hook behind. The hook, Gary, the hook.
Well, I think we shall find that referee John Cole's card will show Mason to be an overwhelming winner, and I think we'll also find that there won't be a winning round on it for Holman. Holman still bleeding from the mouth. But what a performance he's put up. He's come a long way to save the show. Probably not fully match fit, and yet a brave performance, taking everything Mason can throw at him. He's always come countering back with jabs and given Mason a hard fight and a lot of good experience, and Mason threatening to finish it in the final seconds. There's the bell, it goes the distance, and the two men respect each other. Mason, of course, the winner on points. The first time he's had to go the distance as a professional. Fine performance against a strong, tough opponent. Oscar Holman, who will get just as big a cheer, I suspect, as Mason. Well, the last few seconds were pretty dramatic when Mason suddenly let fly with some good punches, and Holman was in some of the worst trouble he'd been in throughout the fight. But at that moment, the bell came and hostilities were over.
The knockout eludes him, but Mason continues on the way up. Top of the British heavyweights, of course, Frank Bruno, a very animated spectator at ringside tonight. Frank considering his options now after that defeat by Witherspoon in the summer. And the daunting option to emerge this weekend is taking on the newly crowned WBC champion Mike Tyson, who really destroyed Trevor Berbick in just over 5 minutes